Thank you, Brad. Okay. It is with much joy and privilege to introduce our guest speaker today. She graduated with a double degree under the Commission on Higher Education, Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English at University of San Jose Recoletos, Cebu City, Philippines. She completed her Master of Arts and Teaching major in English Language and Literature at Southwestern University in Cebu City. She is a candidate for Doctor of Education in Major Industrial Education and just defended the dissertation titled Organizational Membership Skills, Membership Productivity, and Organizational Sustainability of Embassy-accredited Filipino organizations in Doha, Qatar. Input to Philippine School Doha Extension Program at Technological University of the Philippines, Manila. She is a former faculty of St. Francis of Assisi School in Cebu, a former Sunday school teacher of Word International Ministries in Cebu City, and currently a member of the Good Shepherd International Ministries here in Doha, Qatar. Teacher Wilma, as we fondly call her, is currently a preschool teacher and the preschool activity in charge at the Philippine School Doha, State of Qatar. She is married to Ronel Palayan Regalado with a daughter named Sophia Jaira Balmores Regalado. Her life verse can be found from Jeremiah 29:11. Please join me in welcoming our guest resource speaker, Teacher Wilmalyn B. Regalado. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, according to Ma'am March. Thank you very much, Ma'am March, for that very wonderful introduction. Actually, it's really my first time to speak in a group of Sunday school teachers. So we will make it a less formal because teachers like us really don't want our students to be bored in our classes, right?
Right.
Yes. So before anything else, say good afternoon to the person beside you. Good afternoon. Yes. Let's say you are chosen to be a teacher. Yes. Actually, the person standing in front of you is a product of Sunday school. I started very young. I was trained. I really met the Lord when I was still in when I was joining a Sunday school. Then I grew up. I became a member of the youth and then young adults and now a couples ministry. Right? Amen. And God is so good that He really trained me to become a teacher. Just a short story behind this being a preschool teacher. Actually, I am a secondary teacher. And before being a teacher, I enrolled myself to become an accountant because I really wanted to become an accountant. But when God called you to be a teacher, no matter what you do, wherever you go, once He calls you and He's the one moving, you cannot prevent it.
Right.
And I'm called to be a teacher. That's why I became a scholar, and then He trained me to be a teacher of young kids. We had this church ministry or the kids church in our school before, wherein I taught young kids during Sundays for being a Sunday school teacher. And we also reached out to the young people in Cebu. We went up on the mountains and we went to the areas where there are children who needed
to meet the Lord, right? For us to reach out to them. And I really appreciate the vision and mission of your kids ministry, our kids ministry here, because they are really anchored to what the Lord or what Jesus Christ wanted us to become. Just like the young children, what He wanted the young children to become. And of course, there's a great challenge for us, especially nowadays, that we are on the 21st century, right? We call this time as the 21st century. But of course, it's not yet too late, and it's not a great hinder for us to continue what we are called for, right? As Sunday school teacher. First, one of the objectives of of my talk is to gain an overview of the 21st century learners. It's a broad topic when we are talking about this as an educator. 21st century learners, when we talk about it, it's very broad, right? But I will try as much as I can to give you what is understandable for people who are not really into education, right? We will not make it a very technical one, but I will try to, being a teacher, will try to let you understand what 21st century learners are. Second is identify instructional factors of 21st century learning. What are the factors that really that are very useful or remarkable for the 21st century learning? Identify characteristics of 21st century learners. Do we really know them? Do we really, are we equipped enough to teach this kind of learners? And identify teaching pedagogies to motivate, teach, and assess 21st century learners. So I will be giving you some examples. There are a lot of pedagogies that we've been learning as we go along, but there are some practical ways for us to meet halfway, like for us who are part of the traditional teaching, and how we could teach them on the way they learn, right? So I have here a video. Start to be with the audio. Maano siya. Okay, dito na lang. I'll transfer because I would like to have a glimpse of the previous century, the kind of learners or the kind of the youth that I think most of us can relate to. Okay, so the video is about one reason that we need to be equipped of is for us to know how to troubleshoot the technological gadgets. Okay. Okay, so while Brother Ronald is preparing for my presentation, dapat maging ready tayo, di ba? I know there are some technical glitch that would happen, so I just transferred it to the USB to be transferred to another laptop. So as you can see, luksong tinik, then there are many games that we used to play. Who could tell me, ngayon, ito na lang, itetest ko na lang, who can tell me some of the games that we used to play when we were younger, like during the 90s? Sister Jen. Yes, Chinese Garter. Langit lupa. Yes. What else? Pico. Ah, Pico. What else po? Patintero. Jackstone. Shato. What else? Hide and seek. Taguan. Meron pa yung... Oh, have you... Yung text before. The word text. What is the text? Diba? Yung parching tune. Like that. But at this time, iba na yung text, diba? It's the message. So, talagang nag-iba na yung panahon. Time has changed that even the younger ones at this time, they really don't know what those are. And I can attest to that. Every time that we have this activity in school, we used to give them these terms, okay, during buwan ng wika. We introduce them. Do you know how to play Pico? Then they will say, what is Pico, teacher? Especially here in Doha. Then we let them play and they really enjoy playing the Pico. How about luksong tinik? Do you know luksong tinik? What's luksong tinik, teacher? And then, it really saddens me that the generation nowadays, especially Filipinos, they do not know this kind of games, which really help us to become who we are right now. Did you know that there's a study that the more the children move, the more they play at the playground, the more their brains are stimulated. Yes. Kaya siguro tayo, mga matatalino daw tayo. Joke. Mas may initiative daw. Kasi nga, during games, like, you would have to strategize. How can I hit this can during tumbang preso, di ba? Mag-strategize, hindi natin alam, in a subtle way, we are strategizing, or we're doing the strategy on how to hit, how to win. But it's not a guarantee that the children nowadays are not smart anymore. Try to find out what makes them different from us. Eto, very short lang naman po siya, 3 minutes. So, do you remember doing this when you were younger? Chinese garter. Sipa.
Buti nakita tong luma. Thank you. Ulin!
Sino kasintado dito sa Joden?
Aha!
That's Pico.
Salamat. Trompo. Pogs. Ay, yoyo. Pitik bulag.
Next.
Next.
Chu.
Siya to. Ano siya? Ito.
The games of the generals, it's invented by a Filipino.
Yes.
So, the last picture, it shows the generation nowadays, right? Some of them, they really missed what we did before, right? And it really shows that most of us here are part of that generation. The way we react, right?
Yeah.
But we missed that, right? Yes. So, how about the Sunday school? Of course, at this time, there are some changes that the Sunday school is also facing, right? Because the kind of students that we have right now are no longer part of the previous generation, but they are what we call as the 21st century learners. So 21st century learners, what can you say about them? Those who have their children at this point, si Sir po. I'm so happy that the children of Sir were my students before. So what can you say about them, Sir?
Nowadays.
Yes.
Actually, mas advanced sila pagdating sa mga technologies, especially dun sa mga gadgets. They are more advanced, mas magaling pa sila sa akin.
Yes. Other things that you can say about the 21st century learners? Sister Lacey.
Napansin ko po, they are speak their minds compared po sa iba pong students.
Yes. What else? How about from this table? What can you say? Si Ma'am, what can you say about the 21st century learners?
Having two children, yung contentment, you always want something new. Yung toy na kabibili lang today, a day or two after that, ayaw na nila. So they want something, they crave something more and more. Even yung mga PS3 games, there's your market.
How about from this table po? What can you say about the 21st century learners? Si Sir daw. Ayaw na because si Sir. Sir.
Children nowadays, they're free spirited. They just do what they want without restrictions. Kasi before doing something, you ask your parents if I can do it. For them now, no more. They don't need to ask permission anymore. They just do it on their own.
Yes, very well said. We have those descriptions of the 21st century learners. They are what we call as the millennials. They are the digital learners. They are the learners of the information age. They are advanced. They are outspoken, free-spirited, and sometimes because of too much freedom that they can say that they are free, they have the tendency to be unruly, right? Ika nga sorry ha, I'd like to quote President Duterte, parang minsan nagkakaroon ng state of lawlessness, right? Okay, so, next slide po. One strategy for a Sunday school teacher is, since our digital learners are well-informed, they're outspoken, they want to share. They don't want to sit down, but they want, hello, I want to say this. You can have this kind of teaching, semantic mapping. Maybe some of you in your companies, you're using a word that they can connect to a big word. You can let them say it. Actually, I was supposed to write here. Kala ko po whiteboard ang gagamitin natin. But it's okay na po. Baka ako'y ma-state of lawlessness na magsulat ako dito. Semantic maps or graphic organizers, they don't want wordy presentations. They want connections of one word to another. Let's say 21st century learners. Sir, next slide po. 21st century learners. What can you say about them? Free-spirited. They are advanced, technologically inclined. They are well-informed. So when you ask them, they have their prior knowledge. Gone are the days that we will be feeding them, let's say just like what I'm doing. I'm not just giving you the information, but I believe that you have the prior knowledge about. Prior knowledge means the previous information regarding the concept of 21st century learners. When we teach nowadays, we no longer say that we are the ones who know everything. Because kids nowadays, they know even more than what we know. Do you agree with me? Yes. So let's go to the next slide, sir. So these are the 4 instructional factors of the 21st century learning. Of course, we have the teacher, then the student, the classroom, and the curriculum. So, for us educators, these are the 4 factors that we consider when we prepare our lesson, our curriculum, or our learning action plans. Sir, we will start with the teacher. Next slide, Bob. The 21st century teacher, so we are called to be like this, okay? In the world of, for the educators like us, we need to be the adapter, the communicator, the learner, the visionary, the leader, the model, the collaborator, and the risk taker. We don't need, or we need to be like creative in everything that we do with regard to teaching the 21st century learners. We have also to be good communicators. In terms of, when we talk about communication, it involves the technology. When you ask I'm teaching preschool, but they know about Facebook, they know about Twitter, they know about Instagram. So if they talk about it, they know everything. They know about social media. And if you're not adept with it, you will be left behind. Kasi teacher, hindi niya alam yun. Preschool, alam na yun. Isipin mo, 6 years old, 5 years old, 4 years old, they can even use the iPad. They can even figure out the password of their parents. Yes! Kaya nagugulat ako, Ma'am, ganito po talaga ba ang anak ko? Every time meron kami card giving, Ma'am, I'd like to know, because these are our competitors nowadays, right? So we should know what it is. So, we should also be collaborator. We work, just like what we're doing right now, we collaborate. We collaborate with other educators, with other Sunday school teachers to know what is in and what is out with regard to teaching. Right? And then we need to be the model. Yun. How can we be a model to them if we are not technologically adept? Which makes them comfortable in learning. And then we have to be the leader. The leader, it means that we are the ones leading them to what they are supposed to become, right? Kaya nga po, anchored talaga yung vision and mission ng ating kids ministry. And then, learner also. Why are you here? You're just there to sit down? No, we're here to learn, right? So, let's have next slide po. Now, let's talk about the classroom. Tingnan po natin, we are from the previous century classrooms and then the 21st century classroom. Let's try to agree or disagree. Before, most of the teachers, they do the lecture, right?
Nice.
But now, discussion. You ask a question, let your students discuss about a certain thing because they can research. Lecturer. Yeah, it's so boring na sometimes, di ba, we can sleep during, okay, who killed Magellan? You know, that sorry, that I had this research about this, blah, 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 blah. Then all of us, parang natatakot din tayo mag-ano sa teacher kasi the teacher thinks that he or she knows everything. Why are you refuting my comments? Huh? Why are you refuting my knowledge? Did you know that I studied at Harvard University? Oh, di ba? Then, facilitator for the 21st century. Okay, you have this group. Now, I'd like you to talk about this topic. How about you? You talk about this, and then after that, we will discuss. So that's what a facilitator is. Then here, when we had a lesson, whole group ang gagawa. But in the 21st century learners, we have this what we call small groups. This is when the multiple intelligences teaching approach had been introduced. Because the 21st century learning, it also talks about the different intelligences of the learners. That a learner can learn through music, while others can learn through bodily kinesthetic. Others can be interpersonal, others are intrapersonal. So that's why we have the small groups. Dati, wala yan. Okay, nakakinig ka. Okay, logical, right? Then, if you cannot sing, oh, you have to sing because that's our activity. Diba? Now, single tasking, multitasking. Yan na po ang 21st century classroom. Then, teacher-centered for the traditional and 21st century classroom, student-centered. And traditional instruction, differentiated instruction. More creative po ang 21st century classroom. Let's move to the next po. Oh, look at this. The 20th century, filling the vessel, meaning the learners are vessels. So for example, sa Sunday school, okay children, our lesson for today is about the story of creation. So you are thinking na tabula rasa pa yung mga, when you say tabula rasa, clean slate, yung mga bata. Okay, did you know that God created the world like this? He created the animals like this. So you are talking about, do you know that in the 21st century, they knew about it because of the technology, the media. Even on television, it's being shown. In the YouTube, they can watch. How will I still listen to my teacher if I can only watch it through YouTube, right? But here, you are kindling the fire. You have to let them let the passion for learning be rekindled or kindled. Like parang sisindihan mo para mag-start silang maging interested sa what the lesson is about. Okay? Then retelling lang, di ba? In the 20th century, retelling the story, but here, discovering. Let the children discover. You will know about this later. Information transfer, learning to learn. How will they learn what they have learned? How will they unlearn and then relearn? Okay? Then time-based, outcome-based. We will see that about that later. Then textbook-driven, research-driven. Then passive learning, active learning. Next slide po. Now here, this is a bit more understandable. For the traditional learner, they sit and get. While the 21st century learner, they move and experiment. Hindi sila makukontento. They really want to know it by themselves. Diba? They want to experiment. Kaya nga po more curious sila, diba? And it's very dangerous nowadays. That when they learn something from the social media, they will try to experiment about it. Do you agree with me? They want to know, totoo ba ito? Talaga po mangyayari kung ganito ang gagawin namin? Do you know what I mean? Right? They're more curious. The learner as the receptor, they are just receiving information. However, in the 21st century, the learner is the initiator. So, they will think of something, and then they will try to discover, and they will undergo the process in order to learn about it. Then, I would like to highlight They shared globally and collaborates. Let's let's have an example of this. Shared globally. Do you agree that they share globally? Nakikita ba natin na globally nag-share ang mga learner nowadays? In what way? Technology. Yes. If you are here in Qatar, a learner here in Qatar, they can even collaborate with the students from other places, right? And then they change constantly. Yung minds nila then they're not contented, just like what Ma'am Marge said a while ago. So these are just some of the things that we can see about the 21st century learners. Right? Let's move on to the next slide po. Now, what I am here for is to teach you some of the pedagogies that we have learned from our school. Okay? We are very much blessed in Philippine School Doha that our principal, he's a very dynamic principal. He never stops to search like things or ways for us to teach this 21st century learner, especially po dito sa Doha. As a testimony, mahirap po talagang magturo sa mga batang alam mo na technologically savvy. Yes, we really can prevent them from being interrupted, or shall we say, being distracted by what's new about technology. So, and the kind of learner that we have right now, we have to learn how to teach the way they learn, right? So these are some of the teaching pedagogies that we can apply as a Sunday school teacher. Okay? Hindi po natin sasabihin na kailangan separate po yung Sunday school sa teach the way the educators in school are teaching. Meron po silang connection. Di ba po? Sinasabi lang natin Sunday school, but there's still a teacher. The four things are still present. We have the teacher, we have the students, we have the classroom, and the curriculum. So, are these things applicable? Yes, very applicable. So, these are just some of the things that I'd like to share. So, this is an example of our learning action plan. Essential na po for presentation purposes lang, because a teacher is also like, it should have a blueprint of what he or she is going to teach, right? This is our blueprint. This is our direction. Just like an engineer, just like an architect, or whatever profession we have, the teachers also have this. We need to know what we're going to teach, because we also consider the time and the activities that will make our learners interested on what we are going to do. So example lang po ito. Sir? Yan. It's our lesson here is about family. So we have this K-pop components. The K-pop, which stand for the knowledge, the process, understanding, and product. But I will not teach you about that. But for us, we first touch the knowledge. That's the basic knowledge, more on the cognitive lang po yan. Information. But the process is mas malalim na siya kasi yung bata na ang gagawa ng the answer will derive from the students themselves. Understanding more on the affective. That's where values are being taught. And then, product is more on the tangible outcome or output of our lesson. So ito po, paano natin siya i-connect sa Sunday School? Sige po. Okay po. Nagbigay na po ako ng sample ng blueprint. Pwede po kayo gumawa ng inyo sa template. So for example, this week or this Friday, what will be the lesson? Or for this month, what will be your theme? Okay po. So, before anything else, the 21st century education, we are more on the constructivism. So, medyo technical po siya. Ang constructivism po is, we believe, or the proponents believe that learners have previous learnings already. They have learned about the lesson. All you have to do is to let them construct learning in their own way. Okay? I will give you a sample. Okay, everybody stand up. Galaw-galaw po tayo. Ito po, table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. Okay. Now, I want you to group yourself here. Sige po, sama-sama po tayo in one place. In one place. In one place. So, I told you, 21st century learners, they want to move. So, consider yourself as one of the 21st century learners. Sige po, group na po tayo. Yung group po doon. Let me see. I want you to paint a picture. Dito na po kayo, sir, ma'am. Dito po, para 3 groups. Mukhang konti sila. Dagdag po tayo dito. Dito na lang po. Sige po. Here po. 21st century learners, they love to collaborate. They love to socialize. They love to mingle with their classmates. Okay, and woo. Now, I want you to make, or what I mean, present to me, using you as, you can become the props, you can become anything that you have to portray. Let's say, since we are on the Vermont, portray what you call this one? The birth of Jesus Christ. Yes, you have to portray as if you were on that era. Okay, at the count of 10. 1, 2, constructivism. Where do you think is the constructivism there? When you say constructivism, children have their prior knowledge and they have to construct their learning more meaningful by themselves. How were you able to do it? Like in a constructivist way? Who can tell me? Paano siya naging constructivism? Oh, ano po yung stock knowledge nyo about the... Tinuruan ko ba kayo na Merong Mary, Joseph, Baby Jesus, and animals? Sinabi ko ba? No. Wala. Hindi ako nag-introduce, but I told you, present or portray the birth of Jesus Christ. So that means you have the prior knowledge na. Alam niyo na po kung ano yun. But I let you do it, constructed in your own way. That's what constructivism is. Another way is like charade, right? You can let your children play charade. Di ba po? Yung mga bata, for example, bibigyan nyo ng paper, okay, let us play about God's creation tayo. Okay. Kunwari, lalagyan nyo si Eve, di ba? So, si Eve, paano niya i-act si Eve? May prior knowledge na siya doon, di ba? The animals. Like, giraffe, paano ba yun? Ganun. So, you can take your seat na po. So, that's what constructivism is. Actually, only one lang po yan. Kaya sabi ko talagang napaka-broad po ating topic. So, one example lang po yan. Let's go to the next slide. Inquiry-based learning. Ito na. When you hear the word or the term inquiry-based, what comes into your mind? Sige po. Yes, ano po yung inquiry-based?
They are asking